brought the kids, and we can see the generation. Let's appreciate them.
Wow. How I wish when we were growing up, at least we will have some minimization on Nickelodeon, Jim Jam, you know.
And you have more meditation.
Man, watching Bunny Bears every morning before you go to school. Wow, this is quite interesting. If you have a sibling, don't waste them. This is the best opportunity you can give them.
TOT Junior.
Power, you know. Amazing, TOT Junior.
Amazing. And we
Ikorada na
have
nyinyi.
Ruby. We have Ruby up next.
Hi everyone. Hi. My name is Eseni Ruby, and before I fully introduce myself, I would like us to do this. Can you raise up your hand? Now raise it up higher. And now ask yourself, why didn't you raise it at the topmost on the first try? Today I'm going to be doing a president's speech. As the president, I would like to focus on some few things. Number one, debts. Our country is drowning in debt, all because we don't use our finances well. All because we are not using these finances well. So to manage this, we must put some money away to help reduce these debts that we are drowning in. Number two, environment. Our environment is very dirty. To manage this, we will have a cleaning setup on Saturdays so that we make sure our environment is clean. And to ensure that nobody litters the environment. Anyone who litters the environment will be given a fine of 1 million Kenyan shillings. Security. Our people are becoming very violent nowadays. And we all know that violence is not a very good thing because we are hurting people. People are killing innocent people only because of money. And also gender equality. We are all human beings. To ensure we are all equal, we should do this. These girls and boys from their young age, teach them to respect human beings. When you see a person, don't see them as a boy or a girl. See them as a human being, a person who is to be respected. In this, as the president, I will make sure that everything is done in a legal way and no violence is used. I will make sure I use this power very well because we all know that power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts completely. I would like to end with a short story. Once upon a time, there was a man. This man was not really poor and not rich. So this is what he used to do every day. While walking down the street, he found that there was a gutter pouring water onto the floor. What he did was, he found a dried plant next to that gutter. He put it where the water was dripping. While he continued walking, he went to get some food and saw a hungry dog. What did he do? He gave some of his meat to the dog. And as he continued with his journey, he met a poor mother and her daughter who were on the street. He gave the amount of money he had and gave it to them. And then when he went back to his apartment, he knew an old lady lived there, so he always gave her some bananas every single time. What did this do? After some time, the plant started to grow. And one day while he was passing the poor people, these poor people, he did not find the daughter. And then he had the daughter shouting, "Mom!" The daughter had actually gained enough money to go to school. What do we learn from this story? All these small things make change. And while he was doing all this, the people from around the neighborhood were just looking at him in disgust. What do we learn? That we should, the biggest mistake a person can make is not to do anything just because you can do little. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ruby. Actually, what she did looked so simple when she said, "Raise up your hands." I think that happens even in the normal world. When you're given opportunities, the first time we are always like 50-50.
You hold
but
back.
the second time, we like want to grab. Either way, opportunity comes once for those who will grab it. What do we have next?
We have Gian up next. Gian.
Wow.
Hi everyone. Hi. Okay, I have something to say. Nikikaa pale, nilikuwa nashanga watu wanapandia wapi? Lakini sasa nimeona. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And did you know that 1 in 3 women in the world have either suffered in sexual or physical abuse? My name is Jan Gakungi, and today I'm going to talk about a very serious issue known as femicide. Femicide is a killing of women just because of their gender. And millions of women each and every year die just because of femicide. And just the thought of it makes me want to throw up. Let's take a case of a Mexican woman known as Marisela Escobedo. She was killed when she was trying to gain justice for her daughter. Or let's take a woman known as a social media influencer in Kenya, known as Starlet Wahoo, who was killed and stabbed and left lifeless. And another woman in the UK, known as Sarah, was kidnapped by a police officer and was killed. And as mmesikia, it's not confined in a community, but it's global. It's a really serious issue that is everywhere around the world. And I understand that the human mind is incomprehensible. But when we take the communities, the whole world, and we educate them on the wrongs of femicide, I'm sure we can have a change. Am I right? Yes. We can have a change that women do not die each and every day just because of someone who feels like they're more powerful, someone who feels like they can trample on them. And just as Mahatma Gandhi said, that the day that the power of love will overcome the love for power, then peace will be among us. Thank you very much.
Wow.
I hope mmeshika hiyo quote. The day the power of love will overcome the love for power, peace will be amongst us. Wow.
Okay. What do you have on your side?
We
I'm
have
stunned. Okay?
we
I can't
have
be moved.
Angel Favor. Angel Favor. I can't tell you feeling the pressure, 'cause I am. Hi guys, I'm kind of shaking, but okay. So today I'll be talking about the future me. Angel Favor Jambi is a girl who is passionate to be a cardiologist. Her ambition is to be a cardiologist, and this will be helped by her passion of helping people and making others smile. As you all know, and if you don't know, a cardiologist is a person who treats the heart. And I really love people, and that's what made me to choose to be a cardiologist in the future. During my first day of taking this lesson, I was kind of shy, and you all guys know it's true. But I thank Mr. Walubengo for helping me gain confidence in myself and also understanding others and also loving others more and more. So I, Angel Favor, would love to be a cardiologist in the future, and as you all know, cardiologists in Kenya are very few, and I'd like to be among the first women cardiologists in the world. And thank you to Ispeak. Thank you to Ispeak. In the future, I'll be having more confidence in public speaking and have confidence in speaking to my patients. Thank you for all of you, and thank you for listening.
Wow.
Now, there's a day that Angel was presenting online. How many were in class that day? And when she failed to speak, she switched off her video. And she was like, I'm not doing this. Hii story bana tumemalizana, nyi tuonane maze, God our bless. But now I can see that she is holding the microphone and standing to speak. You know, this for me, you might not know, but confidence is a big thing in Africa. I'll show you some statistics in a few. Africa loses 16 billion USD because of confidence. Just because of confidence is a whole economy. All the people who do plastic surgery, it's confidence. It's a whole economy. So when you see kids as young as the age of 13, 14, 6, 7, fixing their confidence, it's done. There are things now you can't tell them something that is opposite from what they know. So let's appreciate all these amazing people for that. And Titus, one day, Titus, the engineer who spoke, came at the office in Syokimau to look for me and told me, I'm an engineer, I have a master's, I'm adding another master's, but I can't speak in the boardroom before my boss. What do you do? And I told him, I am a student, I am young, but I have been doing this and I can speak. So for me, the only thing I can help you is to speak. So you just trust me with yourself. Na usahau tu ni engineer kidogo. Alafu ndatembea na wewe. And akasahau yeye ni engineer kidogo. And I convinced Titus and I told him he can speak. And we've been doing speaking sessions. By the time we are done, he has done 10 videos. More than 10. Yeye ndio class mzima enda wa kwanza kutuma video. Alafu anatumanga videos excess. Na ameongea dakika 6 na video ni ya dakika 2. And now you can see he's speaking very powerfully. And Titus is beginning an NGO for engineers. Young engineers. Young engineers. So, for all the young people who want to pursue engineering, he's ready to mentor them. He's been in the aviation field. So he also wants to help the young people who want to understand things to do with aviation. And that's impact. How many more speakers do you have?
3 more.
3 more. Yeah. Who else?
Jonathan.
Jonathan. Where is Jonathan? Let's appreciate Jonathan. Where is your coat? Where have you left your suit? Come with it. Come with your suit. Jonathan sent me a picture of his suit yesterday. He was telling me, Sister, which suit do I wear? Double breast, 3-piece, 2-piece? So he actually went and bought a suit for today. Go ahead. His profile.
Jambo. Mahoro akundo imewafa. Today I'll be talking about AR, or what we know as augmented reality. AR is, or VR, is a computer-generated environment which, which will which visualizes events and objects which are realistic. A quote from Steven Sparrell states that photography is a kind of virtual reality which it can help create an illusion which makes an interesting world. And in the year 1968, a teacher and his student created the first headset which was connected to a computer and was not as what we have today. It looked heavy, scary, was very uncomfortable, but they sorted it out with hanging it from the ceiling. AR and VR today, or the future of both, is really promising. And they can help in education, healthcare, and as well as entertainment. My name is Jonathan Goodluck. Thank you for your time.
Amazing.
Jonathan has a very interesting story. This guy has gone through a lot of things at a young age. The mom is here, you can just wave. And one day, the mom also is in training, so she'll speak one day and share her story. But there's one thing that Jonathan said 2 days ago that really touched my heart. Jonathan lost his brother. And it is a very painful story. I know one day he'll share it. And the way he lost his brother is also now the story that one day he will share. But I asked him a question. Did you forgive whoever killed your brother? And he said, I already forgave him a long time ago. And him and the mom have experienced a lot because it's the dad who killed the brother. And so it was a very painful experience. When the mom came to me, said, I'm bringing Jonathan to study public speaking, not even because he can't speak, because I want him to heal and share his story one day. And for him, he said that he has gotten to a place where he understands it's not about his father against whatever. He understands that everyone belongs to God, that God extends grace and love. So the other day he followed me in Rongai. I was going to preach. And he sat throughout the session the whole day. The mom left him. He sat there till 8 p.m. And he told me, I want to see how you're speaking to people in church so that I can also know how to speak to people practically. These kids, all of them as you're seeing them, have very interesting stories. I speak in a tractor to ajabu sana. The things they tell us sometimes, and some of them have gone through very painful experiences, but powerful experiences that have also changed how they think. So even for him to stand there and talk and be in a suit, Jonathan is back to life. And names, you can see names are very prophetic. The mom named him Jonathan Goodluck. That's the name of a president. So either way, that name will come to precede itself. Let's appreciate him.
Amazing, amazing. And up next we have Kenzo. Kenzo, the final TOT junior speaker.
Good afternoon. I don't hear energy. Say it louder. Good afternoon. That's like it. So this is I'm going to say a speech about the worst tragedy that happened in September 11, 2001. Almost 75% of Americans fear Arabs because of the tragedy that happened, the 9/11. On this day in Manhattan, downtown Manhattan, it was a normal day. In Pennsylvania, another normal day. But now it wasn't. At 8:46 a.m., a plane struck the North Tower. The people thought that that it was just an accident, but it wasn't. CNN and Fox News and some other broadcasting channels started to broadcast the crash. But 17 minutes later, at 9:03 a.m., a second plane hit the second tower, the South Tower. Now this was no accident. This was a terrorist attack. George W. Bush was all the way in Florida going to teach out a new curriculum that he was supporting. Now, when he had it, he was one of the last few people to know this. Now, the day wasn't over, it was just beginning. Now, at 10:32 a.m., a plane hit the Pentagon, and this was unrepairable because it cost billions of dollars to rebuild it again. And from this day on, it has been safely guarded since. But now, a second plane, known as Flight 93, was nowhere to be found till it was been realized that it was still in the air. Now the U.S. government had sent out fighter jets to come to shoot it down because there were still terrorists, and the people who were inside the plane had luckily defended themselves. And now this plane was mostly going for the White House or the monument that is usually in Washington D.C. And now it had crashed into a random field in Pennsylvania. Now if you look into details, all of these ones started at Boston International Airport, because that's where security footage shows people going into duffel bags within a plane. Three terrorists in each plane. Now, if we come together with the people to save the world, we can make the world as a better place. And if we do this, we'll all be better. Thank you.
Some energy for him. Wow. Actually, one thing I love about knowledge is once you have it, no one can take it away from you. Wow. That was really interesting. I've learned. I'm learning, I'm telling you.
And
what do we have
to help
on
us
your
learn
side?
some more, we have Shalma. Shalma?
Woo!
Hi everyone. I'm Shalma Wanjiro, and I'll be saying a speech about hope. So, hope is a word that holds the strength to illuminate our darkest days. It also has the strength to hold us during our toughest journeys and challenges. Hope is not just but a wishful thing, but something that we can hold on. It holds the belief that our tomorrow can be better than today. Think of the many examples in history where hope has recovered each one of us. It has built nations, sparked revolutions, and even healed broken spirits. Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 years, but his unwavering hope for a better and good South Africa held him, and it became reality. Today, in our daily acts, we see hope as something we can hold on. We can see it in the smile of a stranger, the helping hand of a friend, or even the dreams that we nurture in our hearts. We can see it in parents who strive each day to educate the future of their students, in students who study no matter the obstacles, in a scientist who looks for answers to the world's toughest questions, and that we see is hope. Today we need strength and hope to see that Kenya can become better than what it is today. We might be facing challenges today, but tomorrow can be better. Thank you, and that was Shalma.
Wow, that's super nice.
And finally, to bring us to a close with the TOT junior group, we have Benta.
Hi, everyone. When I say praise God, you say amen. Praise God. Praise God once more. I can see that we all have energy, but I want all of us to kindly stand on our feet. So we are going to do what is called shake it out, right? So it goes like this. You shake 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the other hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then your right foot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the other, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, are you all ready? Kindly let's proceed. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1. Thank you. So I won't speak much. As you have heard, my name is Benta Odongo, and I'm very blessed and honored to be before you guys. Thank you so much, Hin, for bringing me into this group, and I thank God for helping me reach this far. So that's all, and have a lovely day. Oh, I should sing. Actually, I love singing. So this is my favorite song since my childhood. It's called Rafiki. Yeah. Nilikuwa natafuta rafiki hatakaye kuwa kudumu. Nilikuwa nimekosa tumaini, kwani binadamu hubadilika kama kinyonga. Tangu nikupate Yesu, sitafuti tena. Upendo wako unanipa nguvu Baba. Nikiwa nawe Yesu, nitaogopa nani? Mimi nitaogopa nini? Hey, najua hutaniacha, pawe na shida pasiwe wewe. Come on, let's go. Najua hutaniacha, pawe na shida pasiwe. Wewe ni mwaminifu milele. Thank you.
You know, Benta is my sister-in-law. Maze, but I said I'll not see her as my sister-in-law. I'll see her as a gift to a generation. So when I was training her, I was so intentional with her. Benta lost her dad at a very young age. But her voice is such a gift that it has opened doors for her to go to the nations. She went to the US because of this voice. And so we are seeing the power of, investing in giftings. And we can see, her confidence was almost dwindling because of challenges here and there. But as I've been telling her, that confidence is something you should never lose. There are 3 currencies that a human being has: character, competence, and confidence. Those are the 3 currencies: character, competence, and confidence. When you have those 3 things, you can go so far. Those are the 3 powerful currencies: character, competence, and confidence. If you lose either of those, one of those, you've lost it. If you lose confidence, you can have good character and competence, but you don't have the confidence to express that competence. And you have character and confidence, but you lose competence, it denies you access. And if you have competence and confidence without character, you lose relationships. So you either need those three. There are many people who have good character and competence, but they lack confidence. So no one knows anything about you. Your product is underwater. And then there are people who have competence, there are people who have confidence and character without competence. So they will never attract kings. You'll only be average. Then there are people who have character and confidence and competence without confidence. So you must be able to balance those three. And for me, this is what I think we are doing with this program. That I'm seeing a sense of character. These guys know God and they love God. They are bold about it. We are seeing competence, research, data, statistics, how they are dressing up. And then you're also seeing confidence. They're expressing it. Those are the 3 C's that we focus on within the program. Thank you so much. Let's appreciate it. There are 2 speakers. Cecily, did you speak? I've not seen you speaking. Rosemary, where are you? There are 2 speakers who've not spoken. And any other person, is there any other person who's not spoken? Today was your day. So Cecily and Rosemary, please finish it up for us. Come. We are waiting for you. Let's appreciate them. Cecily, you can come as the first one, and Rosemary, then we finish it up. Come. Let's appreciate them. Rosemary, come also, so that they wrap it up for us. Then after that, we'll have a saxophone performance for some minutes. And I also want to challenge everyone who came, make sure you talk to 5 people who you've not come with. So as the saxophone performance will be going on, we'll have 5 minutes. Make sure you talk to a younger person, an older person, and your age mate. So you've seen the criteria. Make sure you talk to a younger person, your age mate, and then an older person. Sawa. So make sure at least you've interacted with at least 5 people within those 5 minutes. Give everyone a minute. It's part of practicing communication skills. Sawa. There's a book currently we are reading. It's called How to Speak to Kids So That They Can Listen, and How to Listen to Kids So That They Can Speak. And when you read that book, it says many people struggle talking to children, especially grown-ups. They get impatient. So try as much as you can to look for children. And then children also fear grown-ups. So go to a grown-up and talk to them. For the kids, we are shaping their confidence to talk to CEOs in future. They will not fear pitching. And then for the grown-ups, we are teaching you to be more humble and loving and to listen intentionally. So when the saxophone will be played, at that time, make sure that you stand from your seat, go talk to 5 people. Make sure you give yourself a target of 5 to improve your social skills. And then after that, I'll come in, do a presentation for the vision of Ispeak. Then we'll listen to 2 powerful keynotes from Dr. Mildred Kataka and Mr. Paminas. Then Njoki Munyi will close it for us. She's our pastor for today. She'll be praying for the kids and dedicating them. She's here in the room. How many know Njoki Munyi? Amazing. Oh, Konama fans. Thank you.
Thank you, Alubengo. Good afternoon. Praise God. My name is Cecily Ongwae. As I stand here, I'm walking this journey of public speaking, and yes. I'm not yet there, but soon than you think, I'll be there. The very first thing I would like to say is I'm happy for this gathering. Just like what Lubego said it, that we are different generations here. I think you can guess my generation, and for you to have not to guess, to have the guess so much, I would like to introduce my 2 daughters, my firstborn, secondborn, and so that you can easily know my generation. I'm glad to introduce my girls. Hi. I'm requesting them to stand and wave. That's my firstborn, secondborn. Thank you very much. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's my favorite verse. And just like I said, this journey has not been an easy journey in public speaking, but I believe I'll be there. Sooner than you think, I'll be there. And this journey, I started this journey back with Walubengo, but just before then, I'm in HR field, and I've interacted with so many people, admiring them, wishing that I could be like them, but I know this journey is not easy, but I'll be there. So I started this journey with Walubengo just 6 weeks ago, and I've been walking this journey of public speaking, and today, for sure, I didn't expect me here. But anyway, I'm here, and I know I'm going far. That is it. So be blessed. I love you, and God bless you.
Let's appreciate Cicely. Cicely works for the Nairobi County government. But she told me, for me to be able to speak before my bosses, I need confidence. And after taking the program, 3 weeks later, she was promoted. So, and we are sharpening it day in, day out. Hata yeye akishindwa kuongewa nazima video. So ukiona leo ameongea na ajahipa. Alikuwa adhania nimesahau, lakini sikuwa nimesahau. Let's appreciate her once again. Thank you. Rosemary, go ahead. Rosemary told me she wants to learn public speaking so that she can be a pastor. Yeye alikuja akasema yeye hataki mambo mingi, hataki sijui clients, networking, yeye anataka kuhubiri. So acha tusikia kichapa kitu yake sasa. Do you think?
Good afternoon, guys. Nilikuwa nimefurahia, nimeponea, nilipotelea somewhere along the way, but with time I've come to learn that kuna kitu inaitwa imposter syndrome. How many are a victim of imposter syndrome? Ama niko peke yangu? Nimejipata mimi ni wale wenye wanazima kamera. Ushajisema tu wanazima kamera, but I believe I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I believe so many of us, we've like 80% among the 100% of people utapata wanasuffer imposter syndrome. And this is because at times we feel so inadequate. So be zile background tumetoka. But with time, when we find the right people around us, we surround ourselves with the right people. Nimepata confidence hata kusimama mbele ya watu. It's been hard, but with God all things are possible. Mbarikiwe sana.
Nasikia amemaliza na mbarikiwe sana. Thank you. There are two speakers who have requested me they want to speak. These are the last speakers. Louis, you can come, and Jonathan. So these kids just wame request wakasema mazee tumeona watu wakiongea huku. We know we are not part of the program, but sisi tunasikia tuko na story. So, and you know these I speak. Tumekuja kuongea hapa. Hakuna hatujakaa mkudishi. Tumekuja kuongea. So, go ahead.
My name is Luis Okwara and I have a story. The story's heading is The Hen and the Eagle. The hen was having guests one day, and he asked his chicks to go to Eagle to assist them spoons. The chicks assist spoons and came back home. One day their mother got to the market, and he said, return these spoons to Eagle. The chicks got back to Eagle. They started playing in the road. Their bags were torn some holes. The spoon fell all. They were very worried. They told their mother. And the eagle one day wanted to use the spoons. He asked Hen to give them the spoons. Hen said that the spoons were lost. From that day, eagle started eating chicks. And their mother, the hen said to his chicks, be disciplined and listen to what you are told to do.
How old are you?
10.
This guy is 10 years old. He wakes up at 6 a.m. Every day you find him at 6 a.m. amekaa kwa kiti amekungoja. Anakuuliza umelala aje? So he's a very interesting guy. He also wants to be a pastor. That's his dream. So every time he asks for the microphone, I just give it to him. And he walks with me. He's my small brother. So we go with him in places. And then what he saw me doing, he also does it in school. When he goes to school, he preaches to people. So congratulations, sir. Mbona umekasirika? Uko fiti? Nice, and you can smile and wave. Amazing. Have a seat. Let's appreciate him. Jonathan came with a father. And you can see this is just the power of mentorship and fatherhood. By the fact that he sat next to the father, the confidence came. The first person he told him, "Can I speak?" was his father. Then when the father told him yes, the confidence came. A child is never sure of what they're supposed to do at first as they're growing. It's based on the decision of the father or whoever is next to them to decide in terms of destiny. And then the father said, "Benny, this guy needs to speak." That's the power of fatherhood and sonship. Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Jonathan. I'd like to tell you what I'll be when I grow up. I'd like to be an athlete because I've already won 8 medals and I want medals of running, and I'll just like to be like Obanyala.
This young man happens to be my son. And at his age, he has already won 20 medals. Gold, silver, and bronze. He's an athlete. He's a 100 meters runner. I have prophesied to him that at 18, he will be the national record holder. At 20, he will be the African champion for 100 meters. And at 24, not this, at 24, he will be a world record holder, 100 meters.
And this is Mr. Seko. He happens to be our friend at Ispeak. This guy donated to us the camera. Josh, lift that camera. He donated to us that camera. He donated to us that camera. That camera is worth $500,000. He gave it to us as a gift and said, "Let that camera serve Ispeak." And that camera opened for us a door to the nations. Josh took his first flight because of photography to Ethiopia for 10 days, fully paid, return ticket, presidential suit, because of that camera. And he has given us so much access. Sometimes he woke up even at 1 a.m. to take us for missions. 2 a.m. We've gone to missions in Bungoma, Muranga, in the most weird places. Amekaa tu hapo na sisi. And then he's doing a book, powerful book on his story. He was paid for school fees by Uhuru to study in Harvard. So he has a powerful story and an experience of life. Even how he got his job at Equity was through relationships. So he's a speaker when it comes to strategic relationships. That is his work. Let's appreciate him. Thank you, sir. Now, I want us to do the networking session, as my friend will be coming to play the saxophone. As he'll be doing it, please make sure that you don't sit at the same place that you're seated at. Sawa. Excuse me. So these are the rules. 1, don't be on your phone. Try to improve your social skills. Sindio? Then number 2, excuse me, don't talk to your son or your daughter. Mnajuana. So daddy ataenda kuwa na kuangalia, sasa hii mimi si son, mimi ni founder. I told my mother yesterday, nilimwambia tukifika Sarit, mimi si last born, sasa mimi ni founder. So kuna vitu kwa mami alikuwa amezoea kunifanyia nikiwa mdogo. Ananiita mbele ya wasichana na ananipanguza na mate, vitu tu za ajabu. So tuliongea hiyo maneno, nikamwambia tafadhali kesho mimi ni founder. And then there is a time I was going for a wedding in class 3 na nilikuwa na mashilingi. Nilikuwa na mashilingi kwa kichwa. So my mom took shoe polish, akanipaka rangi kwa kichwa where mashilingi zilikuwa. So jua ikakuja saa 8. So tuko kwa boot na ma page boys na wale flower girls. Wanaitwa flower girls. So tukiwa na wao mamanzi bana, wakaanza kusema na mtu ananuka rangi. Sasa hiyo kichwa ina shine. Madhe alinifanyia vituko. And then there is another day pia tukienda town. Alinivalisha tafisi ile ya wasichana inakuwa na shimo 3. So niko kwa hoteli tu nalia, siongei, natoa tu sauti. Watu wananiuliza nini mbaya? Because nilikuwa nimevaa tafisi ya wasichana. And my mom was telling me, hiyo ni viatu bado. Namwambia hapana, hizi viatu. So today we talked, nikamwambia tafadhali tukiwa huko Sari tusinifanyie kitendo. Mimi ni founder leo. So we are getting into the networking session. Make sure that you talk to someone that you don't know. 5 people. Sindio? So as he'll be playing the saxophone for those few minutes, then we get to the keynotes, nini nini will be done. In the next 40 minutes, we'll be out of this place. Sindio? Please, msitoke. There's still more. Our kids are going to be awarded. We have certificates that we want to gift them. And we like a parent to take a picture with their kids, because that's a powerful picture. Sawa sawa. So 5 people. Sawa sawa. Project 5. Kila mtu afanye hivi. Project 5. Ongelesha watu 5. Wenye hujai ongelesha. Go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Let's settle down. Hello. Hello. What? Hello.
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 Hi.
Kama unaniona? Kama unaniona?
Hi.
Kama unaniona?
Hello.
I can see deals are being sealed.
I have seen it.
Millions
Let's settle
in dollars.
down.
Hello.
Hi. Let's settle down. Let's settle down, everyone.
Yeah. Kindly let's settle. Let's be settling. Let's be settling.
Let's settle down, everyone.
Kindly let's be settling.
And we settle in 5.
Good students.
4.
Kindly let's be settling.
3. Let's settle down. 2. Oh.
If you can hear us, clap once. Bana. If you can hear us, clap once. If you can hear us, clap twice. If you can hear us, clap thrice. Amazing. Let's be settling in. Time is of essence. Thank you, very important. You're good students.
Amazing, yeah.
They are good students. They're learning. All right. We want to proceed to the next segment, but we'll only do that once we are settled. Excuse, let's be settling. Thank you for making connections. Thank you for the connections you're making, but we are requested to be settling in.
All right.
The protocol team, kindly help us with that. Thank you. Hello. Good students, hello. Amazing. We have others who are still making deals of $1 million. Thank you, very important. We will seal the deals. Perfect. If you know your neighbor is still standing, tap them. If your neighbor is still standing, tap them. Tell them they are failing the test. Amazing. Thank you. For those who are still standing, kindly let's cooperate.
And let's quiet down, everyone.
Thank you.
Let's quiet down, kindly. Let's quiet down, everyone.
Thank you. A moment of silence. Thank you. For those who are still walking, we're still waiting for you. We extend our patience to you. So you can be up, sitting down so that you can proceed.
Yes.
Are we set?
Yes, we are.
Amazing. Actually, when we were interacting with people, a random thought came. You know, why don't eggs make jokes, or rather crack jokes?
Why don't what?
Eggs.
Eggs.
Yeah, crack jokes. You know, I don't know why.
Why?
Because when they crack jokes, they'll break, you know. So we'll have the yolk outside. Guys, are we ready? Amazing. So there's this story. Story
call.
Bana, niliwapea session ya storytelling. Sijui kama mli storytell. I hope you've had an interactive session. It's us again. Shijedi Levi and
Wangare Gitao.
And we welcome you back for the next segment.
Yes.
So without much ado, at this juncture, we want to elevate the gears a little bit higher.
Come on.
Are you ready?
Yes, we
Are you guys ready?
Of course
Do you
we
look
are.
ready? Is your neighbor looking ready? If they're not looking ready, you can get a neighbor who's looking ready and you tell them, I want to sit to you next. You know, sawa sawa. So what do we have next, Wangari?
Now, up next,
Yeah.
we have, I think we already saw her. We met her. She called herself teacher. She was here helping us with some of the kids from
Wow.
TOT Junior.
Uh-huh.
So we will hear some insights that she has.
Wow.
Teacher Sukeji. And
Wow.
right next to her is a gentleman by the name Kairu Karega.
Yes.
So we will give them 4 minutes each.
Yeah.
And they will come here and speak to us.
Wow.
Right, Teacher Sukeji?
Amazing.
Amazing. And we can welcome her with a round of applause.
Wow. Bana, the way you saw those brains performing, they are the ones behind. So I need you to be maybe having maybe a notebook or something, because what is about to load or rather fall on us today is nothing like powerful nuggets. Thank you so much. Karibu.
Thank you, Mr. Levis and Wangari. The guests present, thank you so much for being here, including our chief guest, Mr. Benny. Thank you for being an amazing president. They always say leadership is best reflected in those who lead with you. So I'm happy to serve with Mr. Benny. Thank you. You're excellent. So yes, I'm Teacher Sukeji, and I love children. Most stuff about me, I'm into the field of psychology. I do advocacy at the national and the international level, but beside that, I'm a lover of children and adolescents in particular. So today, I'm so glad to speak to you today because I believe this room has an amazing combination of stakeholders who play a crucial role in the life of children, adolescents, and adults. What does it mean to handle children? I remember the first day of our training, Benihin told me, Sue, you'll be handling the youngest group. And I was like, yes, I'm up for it. The next minute, Cairo came and told me, are you sure you'll handle these children? I was like, yes. And the next minute again, one of our Ispeak guys told me, are you sure you'll handle these children? Like 3 times. I said yes. So when it comes to children, beyond the walls of compassion, we look into the future that we want for them. Parents, are we together? We look into the future that we want for these children. You might be in a state whereby the child you have might not be in the best parental environment. Things happen. We cannot reverse it, but we can come together and create the future that we want for our children. This comes in the place of self-esteem and confidence. If you look at a child will only become as confident as the opportunity you give that child. I told Mama Jaden one thing today in the morning. We had a chat with her. And I told her, if by the age of 8 or 10, a child can speak in Sarit, where will this child speak by the age of 18? Yes, if by 8 the child can give a speech in Sarit, by 18 expect it somewhere more glorious. So you see these little kids that we see, you're a parent in this place, you have a seat in the board, or you actually have an office where you have your seat, but you've never taken your child. In psychology, we call it social learning. You have not modeled that child that they can become that leader. So as parents, I urge you today to be very intentional in the things that we do. These children learn 90% of the things by seeing the things that you do, and that's enough. Okay? So let's be intentional, parent. Let's speak life into these children. If you have noticed one thing, when you take your child to school, I'm talking about a nursery kid up to grade 3, you notice that they get so attached to their teachers at school than parents. As a parent, have you ever been tired of one name of a teacher that the child over talks about? And you're like, okay, who's this teacher in Jerry? I need to find out. It is simple. The reason is because there is something that teacher speaks to this kid that you're not speaking. And it's not a beef, but a point of correction. Speak life to your child every minute. You know your child is a stammerer, don't call him a stammerer. If the neighbors do call him that, don't participate. Don't kill the confidence of that child. Choose to be that parent who will pull this kid in great spaces. Okay? So further ado as parents, I also want to urge us that as these kids continue to grow, let us be intentional about the spaces where we put our children. When we talk about a child from the age of 12 downwards, in psychology there is something called Erik Erikson theory. I know I have psychologists in the house. There are various challenges that the child faces in every stage. And when they conquer it, they become very confident humans. When we look at our children, we should not forget things like abuse. when we look at our children, we should not forget things that we stay in an environment with different people. My question is, what is the guarantee that your child is safe in that environment or in that atmosphere? Because we can do our role at TOT, we can train this kid, they can speak here today, but if they can be in a neighborhood where they are abused, I tell you, that confidence might be lost and never found again. And that child is innocent, will question you again, the parent. So I'm just bringing you to a place of very deep introspection, that beyond the things you face, put your child a priority, intentionally, no matter what comes. And to the TOT premium guys that have graduated today, I love inclusivity, so I will not forget you. For all the things that you have learned, number one, it makes you a solution provider in 3 phases. The first thing is to yourself. When you know how to speak, when you know how to brand yourself, when you stand in front of people, they see light, they see hope. Regardless. Have you ever, if you're a public speaker in this place, I mean, Benny is the best experiment that I can use. Benny Hinn, you can actually go talk to people when you're not prepared, but they are confident that you say something. Yes, this is the place where you get. That's why it is a skill for every human being on earth. That's why, let me take you back to psychology. Oh my God, this course has crushed me. When you go back to the highest peak of human progress, it's called self-actualization. The moment you sit down and you know, I am doing it. And there are many of us in this room who are afraid of sitting down with ourselves and we track our progress. Yes, which is wrong, okay? So you need to make sure that the more you invest in yourself, the more you'll begin to love yourself. So as you become the light to others, the light continues to grow. You also become the light to the community where you're from, okay? That's why the champions we make, there is this Nigerian proverb that says, you don't marry under chair. That means when you marry, you don't hide the kids down. Even if you hide, we'll know. We'll find someone who looks like you in the mall. And I'll be like, oh, this looks like Benny Hinn. Where are you coming from? You understand? So what am I saying? When you're the light, you cannot be hidden. You graduating from this program today makes you an advantage to yourself, to the community where you come from. You might be coming from a family where nobody has made it. Be proud and bold. Walk into that excellency. Set that blueprint. Be that pathfinder. Okay? So lastly, as a Pan-Africanist that I am, the skills we learn, let's use it to create African solutions for African problems. Yes. If you learn public speaking today, it does not do us any pleasure if you only keep our certificates at home. But if we find out that, for example, Rosemary decided to come up with something, because let me tell you, with public speaking, it is the genesis of something that can benefit others. We release you. You go and do something. So that means if you can take this public speaking today and you start an initiative or you begin anything small in a very little way, you can actually impact. And that's when we start together one day as black people, we can be like, it started in Ispeak. It started in this place. So in a nutshell, let's be very intentional. Let's protect our children. Let's package ourselves without fear every day. And in conclusion, let's work together to make Africa the best place. Thank you.
You know, Sukeji is from South Sudan. That's what she's not told you. And she's not dating. Sukeji has traveled globally. She was in TUT cohort 1 or cohort 2? Sukeji in which cohort? Cohort 2. And she sits in boards. Not just 1, not just 2, actually global boards. She's bringing, I speak, a deal worth thousands of dollars. So she's an impactful person. The reason I wanted her to train the kids, I wanted to transfer the mindset that she has, because she speaks at the United Nations. So I wanted her also to infect these kids with that mindset. So I was very intentional on that. And she loves children. I'm a good trainer, but when it comes now to children, children are children. There's a skin mwambia focus. So I also looked for someone who can handle kids delicately, because kids are very sensitive. They'll come and tell you, Teacher Sukeji alinichuna leo, aliniangalia vibaya. So it also needs someone who has a heart for them. And Sukeji did a good job on that. Let's appreciate her. She was handling kids who are 6 years old. 6 years old to 10. 6, 7, 8. That's a very delicate group. Kina Zayla. Where is Zayla? hawa si ni watu wa ajabu, unaona hata hawako. Walienda kucheza game. So I want to introduce the next trainer who we participated with to ensure that these kids have been given the best, Cairo Karega, to speak. Let's appreciate him. Cairo is a typical teacher. Hadi venye anatembea, hata venye ako tu, yeye. He has that gift for teaching. It's in him. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Praise God. My name is Kairoa Karega. That's my name. I'm actually a teacher. I teach young children. I also teach adults. Currently, I'm lecturing at the University of Nairobi. I teach online journalism to third years and fourth years. I am a journalist by profession. I am also a teacher, love teaching. I also am a career coach and a storyteller, a Pan-Africanist. I love telling stories. So today, I'm very, very happy to be given this opportunity to speak. I did not know I was going to speak, but a public speaker is always prepared. Yes, and I'm very happy to see all of you mnakapwa from this side. Yes, tell your neighbor you look good. Yeah. Probably if you are shy to tell them. It's a nice starting point. I want to talk about the little things. Tell your neighbor the little things. Who can tell me what is the biggest animal on land? No, strongest. What's the strongest animal on land? You can just shout. I'm hearing lion. I'm hearing elephant. I'm hearing buffalo. The strongest land animal is an ant. It's the ant is the strongest land animal. Very small. For my students who watched the debate, I know you get this reference. An ant is small. Small is her effort, but huge is her impact. A bee is small. Small is her effort, but huge is her impact. These animals are very small. You wouldn't imagine that an ant is the strongest land animal. So it's the same thing with children. We look at children and you might tend to dismiss them. They are very bright. They know a lot. I've actually learned a lot by engaging with young people. I always say if you want to be young, to feel young, be around young people. They'll make you feel younger. You'll know which songs the young people are listening, so that if you're listening to very vintage songs, you know what they're listening. They'll just make you feel young. So do not despise these young ones and what they can do. The potential that they have is immense. Don't silence them. After high school, I taught for a whole year in primary school. I was handling children. And there was one unique thing I saw in a public school and in a private school. So in grade 1, or us who we know it as class 1, the kids would come, wanaongea, walimu wanasema mwache kupiga kelele. It's just early in the morning, 7 to 8. Nothing is really being done. So the teacher tells them to keep quiet, and the ones who do talk they'd be beaten. So I taught in that public school for like 3 months. I thought children should keep quiet in a class, right? See, we have to maintain law and order. Yeah. Then I was poached, was taken to a private school, and I saw a difference. So one of the teachers went and asked her. It was actually a grade 2 class. Told her, I noticed in the morning, your class is very noisy. Why? And she told me, she calls it a free choice lesson. So she says, kids come every day in the morning, they tell the teacher how their day has been and the night has been, and everybody gets a chance to speak, and they talk to each other. So wanapiga kelele, wanapiga story, and he told me they have to do that every single day. Give each child an opportunity to speak, because their children, those kids were very confident. They were not being silenced. Do not silence these young ones. They might be very small. Small is their effort, but huge is their is their impact. You start being small. That's why the Bible says, do not despise the humble beginnings. So even you, whatever you're doing, it might seem small, but I can assure you that it will total up to become big. Success is a sum total of small efforts repeated day in, day out. The small things that you do when you speak in front of people, 2 people, 3 people, you write something small, will eventually amount to something big. Then I'd leave you with this quote that I'd want my students to spell it out for all of us. The 5 P's. Are you ready? Are you ready? Can you tell us what are the 5 P's? Yes. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. You might be doing small efforts, but prepare. Even when you're doing those small efforts, you'll have a huge performance. Thank you.
Let's appreciate this great man. So that's the team that you're working with, Cairo and Sukeji. And then behind the scenes was Tina. Tina, you can stand up. And then Charles is not here. He has gone to donate blood. But they were coordinating in terms of calls. Parents, how many know Tina? Tina was the person who was calling you every morning. Sometimes we'll call and say, Mazi wazazi wachukuangi simu Saturday asubuhi wamelala. And I'll just tell them, make sure that you're tracking and to ensure that you're in touch with the parents. Also, you had Bilha. Where is Bilha? You can stand up. Bilha is a social media manager of Ispeak. Then we have Jeff. Jeff, you can stand up. Jeff was a guy who was doing the graphics. All the posters you saw, all the profiles you saw. If you need a graphics designer, stand up, let me give you clients. If you need a graphics designer, you're here, you have a business, you need a website developer, a graphics designer, this is a guy. And he's a good guy, he's super fast. He does a poster in 30 minutes. And he also works for Mr. Paminas. So I gave him Mr. Paminas also as a client. And Tina is the one who manages my diary. But apart from that, she is also a trainer to youth-led organizations, especially when it comes to structures and systems. So if you need her to train your team, you can reach out to her. Thank you. I want to do a small presentation here. Should I call it small or short? Short presentation, because it's not small. I just want to show you what we want to achieve. But before I show you that, I want to give you 5 things that all of us should be careful about when it comes to public speaking. Because I started this journey in a very interesting way. I began when I was 13 years old. I was given an opportunity by a teacher. I'm actually going to look for him in January. He's called Mr. Munika. He called me. I was in class 7. We had gone to the staff room to be punished for noisemakers. And of course, number 1 on the list was Walubengo. So I was called, punished. And when we were going, he said, come back. So I went back and he said, 2 weeks ago you answered a question in class about dams. He asked a question, who can define what a dam is? And I raised up my hand and said, a dam is a domestically constructed water body that is meant to serve the community. And that guy said, you're in class 7 and you said that, repeat again. Now from the time I was in class 1 up to class 7, teachers had never said good things about me. I could always hear the word hyper. Every time we would go to the pastor's office, I would hear my dad saying, he is hyper. I did not know what hyper means. I thought hyper is a good thing. So even people would ask, what do you want to become? I just say, I want to be hyper. But now this is in class 7. A teacher is saying, repeat a definition. Then he told the whole class, write what he has said. And I saw people who are number 1, number 2, number 3. I was index 27 at the time, writing what I am saying. That did magic. That day, during break time, I would ask them, what did I say in class? Because something had changed. Now, this teacher forced me to enter into music festival public speaking category. I had never thought I can be a public speaker. I only knew I'm a noise maker, not a public speaker. And you can never differentiate the two. And so I've gone for this competition with a certain lady. We were 2 of us representing the school. This lady was called Sally. And Sally was representing the senior category, I was representing the junior category. And of course, the whole school knew that I'm going to fail, because Sally was index 1, she was brilliant, but for me, I was not such a good performer in class. I was average, but then when it comes to now speaking, I was good at it, but I did not even know I was good at it. So when we went, we were given a paper, and we were told, give a speech. If you become the president of Kenya, what can you do? Now, from the time I was young, my dad was very intentional with two things: watching news and reading books. There's a book called Sound and Read. So my dad used to come, and when he's ironing his shirts, he gives me Sound and Read. And he says, read those words. And then I'm just reading them consistently. People are playing hide and seek. Unasikia police and robber. Mimi nimeshachukua, mimi ni robber. Na sasa huko kwa nyumba unasikiza unasoma Sound and Read. And it never made sense at that time. Nilikuwa nashangaa mazee, huyu jamaa ananisumbua ya nini? Usiku tunaocha Al Jazeera na BBC. My dad learned with Robert Nagila. Don't know if some of you know Robert Nagila. He's a journalist. So Robert Nagila used to show up on NTV, 7 p.m. news. So 7 p.m. ikianza hivi buda uko umekaa chini mna watch news. Na news haikuwa inabamba. And I remember there's a day my mom gave me a composition to write about what I have learned during Jamhuri Day. Maze nilikasirika. Nilikuwa naandika niambia hapana, hizo si spellings za prime minister iandikwe hivyo. Enda utafute tena. Nakasirika, nashangaa sasa hizi ni nini? But that day when I stood before the adjudicators and I had been given a speech to give about if I become the president of Kenya, I remember that time I knew almost like 30 presidents globally. I knew the constitutional structure. I also knew the structure of devolution. I spoke until the adjudicators are not supposed to clap. They clapped. And then I proceeded to become number 1 up to the regional level. By the time I went back to school, something had happened to me. I did not know exactly what had happened to me, but something had changed. And from that day onwards, now it's been 10 years. I'll be turning 23 next week, Friday. So it's been now 10 years of speaking. And there are 5 things I've seen intentionally. I've seen these 5 things have made people lose in life. And these 5 things have also made many people gain in life. And that's what I want to share with you. The first thing I can say that has made a lot of people suffer in public speaking is pain. Pain. As I've been doing this thing, training people and listening to people, pain is so powerful. Pain is so powerful. When Proverbs 4:23 says, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. It's true. Anytime people go through pain, pain makes you lose 3 things. You lose your self-worth, you lose your confidence, and at the same time, you lose your self-esteem. There's a difference between self-esteem and confidence. You can have a high self-esteem, but you have low confidence levels. And you can have very high confidence, but you have very low self-esteem. There are people who stand in public and they speak so well. And when they go down the stage, someone tells them you spoke well. They ask you, for real? I spoke well. So that means you have very high confidence, but very low self-esteem. Then there are people who have high self-esteem. They can write a book, but you tell them now to come and speak. They don't know what they wrote. They forget even their names. And pain is so powerful. Especially pain in terms of childhood. By childhood, I mean the small things. How a teacher speaks to children. When we are doing the classes with the young people, I asked them a question in one of the classes. Tell me one of the most painful experiences you've had in school. Some of them were saying, I was ashamed before all the students. And I remember it's something I also experienced. One day a teacher called me before the whole school. And he told the whole school, tell this boy shame on you. And the whole school said, shame on you, look at you, shame on you, look at you. They repeated 4 times. And so that one kills you as a child. Many of you are seated in this room. The reason you're enjoying these kids speaking is because you're a speaker. It's in you. There's a part of you that knows, if I got an opportunity like the way these kids have gotten this opportunity, I will be a better speaker. But pain is so powerful. Pain has killed many people. Many people, they lost it during their childhood. There's a book I read the other day, and in this book, this guy says that there are many people who die at the age of 80, but they already died at the age of 20. 80 was actually the actual death, but they died at 20. And many people in this world, when I check statistics, say that 88% of the world has gone through pain. And some don't even know that they have gone through pain. But that pain steals away something. It's the reason why even when we told you to interact, it's hard to talk to a stranger. Because pain also takes away trust. So one of the things I came to realize that in public speaking, as you're training people, there are people who don't have a problem with grammar. Their biggest problem is pain, and that pain now steals away so many things. Pain opens a door for doubt. That when you stand before people, you're not sure whether you're making sense. Yes, you're making sense, but you're not sure whether you're making sense. So pain is one of the most powerful things. If a human being can conquer pain, today in the morning I was baptized, and next week I'm graduating from my healing classes. I took some classes on healing intentionally. Why? Because I went to 7 high schools. And in those 7 high schools, and for about 4, 5, 6 suspensions, there was a part of me that used to go. And in one of the healing classes, this psychologist asked me a question. She asked me, why do you do the things that you do? I said, I do these things to impact people. Then she said, assume you're doing all these things and the whole world is not watching. Would you still do them? And I kept quiet for a minute, and she told me, you're doing these things also because you want to disapprove the people who never believed in you. And she told me, go and ask yourself, why are you doing this thing? Are you doing it because you want to impact people? Or are you doing it because you want to disapprove some of the teachers and some of the sentiments of what people said while you're growing up? And even when I take in my clients, sometimes I always ask them to fill a form. Why do you want to study public speaking? Yes, they will write, I want to impact, mentor people, good. But then there's another question I ask them. So let's assume now you're a great speaker. Will you have achieved everything? What's the next thing you want to achieve? And these are the 3 reasons that people write. Number 1, I want to have more money. Number 2, I want to climb the ladder in terms of my career. Number 3, I want to appear more confident. All these 3 reasons are more external than internal. Let me explain. External, I mean all these 3 reasons are things for people to see from outside, not to see from inside. So you come to realize as human beings, many of us, yes, we are living to be great, but we are living also to disapprove someone subconsciously. Either you might be disapproving family members, you might be disapproving people who even died. They are not alive, but you still want to disapprove them. So in the process, it doesn't make you very intentional when it comes to your communication. Pain is so powerful. So one of the things I will request all of you as you leave this event, go and take time and ask yourself, what are the things that could have caused pain? And pain is something that unfortunately happens every day. There's someone who said, if you want to see the train every day, then you have to live near the railway. And he also said, as long as a car is outside, the car must be dirty. So it means that as long as you are a human being who is alive, you'll encounter pain every day. A conductor abuses you, kwambia toka hapa sura mbaya. Something happens in you. Unapita hivi watu wanduthi, wakwambia unaringa, na hata ukaifiti. Unapatana karao, anakuweka mahali kwa traffic dakika 20. There's something that happens to you. And unfortunately, pain keeps on building up. And that pain, you'll never realize it's there until when you're given this microphone and you're standing before people. You know, when I'm standing here, it feels like you're naked. Like people are seeing some things that you're not seeing. Good. But now vision, you've moved beyond yourself, family. You're now looking at society. And very few people have gotten to that level. So when you have a vision, it will force you to learn how to communicate. Because anyone who has a vision is going to talk to people who might not really relate with you. So you must be able to learn how to talk to those people. Today I meet introverts, extroverts. I train the Somali community. I train Hindus. So I am beyond even religious barriers. Sometimes I'm called and I sit with people who might not even buy into my faith. And I have to sit there and train them. Because when you have a vision, and a vision will force you to be able to equip yourself in terms of different areas. Statistics say that in Kenya, when people hit the age of 25, they never finish a book. Only 1% of Kenyans can finish a book when they hit 25. Statistics say that people in Kenya only read when they are at the age of 18 up to 24. What happened? Because when people hit a certain peak, because of that angle of vision, the fuel reduces, the fuel of study. And when that fuel of study goes down, it also affects your vision, unfortunately. You begin to leave the average going outside the norm. In Kenya currently, there's a lot of hopelessness. Many people are tired. Many people have given up. And that one also affects their communication subconsciously. Because you'll never see the intentionality of learning communication when your vision is not clear. The third thing that is affecting a lot of people is ignorance. By ignorance, I don't mean not going to school. You can have a degree, a master's, or even a PhD, but you're very ignorant. By that I mean there are many people who have gone to school, but they are ignorant in terms of their destiny. Because you can be ignorant in terms of the education system, but you can also be ignorant in terms of education system. For example, let me give you an example. When you're talking to those people that you're talking to, the 5 people, did you take their contacts? Why did you not take their contacts? It's a subconscious thing. We meet people every day. We don't take people as a big deal as such. And that one, to some degree, it can be ignorance in this sense. You might be here, you are a business person. Or even leave a business person. You might be here maybe, and you're a tutor, you're a trainer. And maybe that person you just greeted is your client. But ignorance will always tell you, it's never that serious, by the way. And ignorance has made us to lie to a lot of people. Next week, ifike, tutakutana. Because ignorance is a way in which it connects with pride. And that pride, subconsciously, makes you not pay attention to the small details. Communication is about details. For us to be creative in terms of words, we must be very intentional with details. For example, how many messages have you not responded to on WhatsApp? Just check your phone. Just check. Mbona mnakasirika? Hakuna kujam. Just check your phone. You'll realize that many of us, na si ati uja respond jo uko busy sana. Ignorance sometimes can tell you, by the way, people are not a big deal. That's what ignorance does. It's like a curtain inakufunika. So you're not able to see people the way God sees them, or even to see people from a lens of value. And he said, niaje Beni, nakufuatanga Facebook, chukua kadi yangu. I did not give him my number, he gave me his contact. Now, if I was ignorant, something would have told me that was meant to come to the organization and change the life of Josh. One day he took me to MasterCard. I was being given a grant. Ispeak was being given a grant of 100 million. We did not have a bank account. We were the best in terms of pitching. Then they asked me, so where do you deposit the money? We did not have a bank account. But he took me in that room and it changed my mindset that I can actually handle 100 million. In that one relationship, there was potential for many other things to come my way. If I tell you a story of how I was gifted the second car, there's a guy called Jeff. He's within Ispeak circles. So one day I'm seated with him. I'm seated with him in the car. He helps people to write books, and I tell him yes. And then I tell him, I called him. This man says, I'm actually coming from prayer. We meet on Monday. This guy was so serious that he made a deposit of 100,000 that Monday. And then when we were interviewing him about his story, because the man had given out about 23, does it look like to make that level of sacrifice? He's gifted a lot of people cars. He did an experiment with us. He gave us a car. But listen, if I could not have taken that young man seriously, I could not have called that guy immediately. Many of us have not done that. So that's what communication is. Communication is so random. It needs you so ignorance in terms of destiny. Number 4, we've been lied to from the time that we were young. We don't take promises seriously. You see, my firstborn sister is here. Sharon, where are you? You can just wave. Sharon, when we were young, told us that Nini, and that lie was given like 5 times. So as a child, you begin not to take promises seriously. Sijui kama mnaniget. Maybe children who are here and their father keeps telling them, ndakuja next week, and they don't come. You lie once, second time, third time, fourth time. Or as a parent, the way we lie and tell kids, ndakupeleka vacation, tutaenda Mombasa. And then you don't do that. That child will get used to that, and it will break something called the component of trust in communication. Communication, by large extent, needs trust. Can I tell you why in Africa we don't trust? We don't trust our leaders, and our leaders don't trust us. Because it's a culture we've created. In America, if you tell people an event is starting at 10 a.m., it is 10 a.m. Because they don't break trust. In America, birthdays are taken seriously. A father will cancel everything to ensure they have celebrated their children's birthday. In Africa, your birthday is your free day. We don't take these days intentionally and seriously. That's why even sitting in a room for 1 hour without touching your phone is so hard. Because we are used to that. Trust is a powerful thing. So you must be able to nurture that trust again. Because when you nurture that trust, That trust will make us take promises and words seriously. There's a book called The Four Agreements. In that book, one of the things this guy has said is that you should make your words impeccable. That when you speak, your words are so powerful that they have not lost the quality in terms of, I don't know how I can explain this. But sometimes has someone ever spoken to you and you don't take them seriously? And you don't know why you have not taken them seriously? Because of that. Trust. Sijui kama mnaniget. We must restore back the culture of trust. If you tell someone I'll call you back at 10, call them back at 10. If you tell someone I'll text you. Text them. Every day I receive more than 3,000 messages. But I try to respond. It's not easy. Kichwa inaniuma boss. Nasikianga kulala. TikTok zimekam. WhatsApp zimekam. Remember, I've been teaching 4 cohorts back to back for the past few weeks. Yesterday I was in a burial, and my feet were just weak. I could not walk again. I had a lot of fever. I was so sick. Even today, this morning, it was so hard. And I was advised, after all this is done, I need to take some rest. But I'm telling you, it's also because I've been intentional with that thing called trust. Because last year, allow me to be vulnerable with you. Last year, I had a company called Double B. And when we opened that company, we got a lot of clients in a certain period within 4 months. But within 2 months, we lost 16 clients. Because of that thing I'm telling you, trust in terms of communication. Telling a client, I'll call you at 4, and you call them at 6. And from that time I learned, I closed the company 5 months ago. And I said I want to start from scratch. And I promised God one thing. If you give me back this season, I will be intentional with some things. So I decided to be intentional. And after that, after taking the 5 months break, I released my first video on TikTok. It hit 200,000 views. And then we got 45 students at once for TOT Premium, TOT Junior. And then I told the team, now we must be intentional in terms of keeping our word, in terms of time and all these things. And one day, I remember Mr. Paminas had called me for a session with his company. And I got late by 20 minutes. And he cancelled. And he cancelled, and then he called me while he was laughing. He said, najua ni rafiki yangu, nakufunza keep time. Because time is not just money, but time is trust. The last thing, number 5, is environment and culture. In Africa, we don't have a culture of intellectualism. It's very hard kupata at event, watu wamekaa, hata sasa ukiambia mtu umetoka wapi, alafu mwambie tumetoka kusikia watu wakiongea, watoto, atashangaa sana. We prefer watching movies than intellectual conversations. We only listen to debates when people are almost campaigning. But when it comes to intellectual conversations, we have thrown them away. We've left them to China. I saw in China, there's a budget they have for conferences and capacity building. A budget of almost 2 billion for conferences and capacity building. By that one, I mean people come and sit in a room and they talk. And then they go home. But in Africa, we don't take conversation seriously and capacity building seriously. And this is something we must take in our families. If you're here and you're a parent, I'm happy that you're here. Sometimes sit with your kids and have a conversation. Ask them what they think about the American elections. Dinner is not a place of eating. It's a place of conversations. But watu kula, mwingine anakula saa 7 usiku, mwingine 4, mwingine akuli. So you don't have conversations. During dinner, you should not have your phone. That's the time to put your phone away and have solid conversations. I want to show you something here in terms of what you want to do. And I'll be done. But I will want us to be intentional on those 5 areas. And let's encourage our kids. I'm happy that my parents are here today. To all the parents who are here, I wish one day maybe I'll give my dad and mom a chance one day to just speak to you. You know, going to the 7 schools and also getting a child at 18 was not the easiest thing. Kwanza mzee alikuwa anasikia kuchizi. Alikuwa kuja kuchukua box. Atuongei kwa njia, anaweka tu ile wimbo yanifundishe kunyamaza. Mpaka Nairobi, mpaka wa leo nachukia hiyo wimbo. And even the day he knew about the child, I remember he came and picked me in Mombasa Road. Alafu tukiwa kwa njia, amenyamaza tu sasa atuongei. Alafu tukikaribia akarudisha William ya gari. Nilikuwa natafuta ma defense kwa kichwa. Najiambia sasa akiuliza hivi ndajibu aje. But he went straight to the point. Alisema kwa hii gari hakuna mtoto. Baba ni wawili. He went straight to the point. And he said, you have made so many mistakes. You've been in 7 schools. Now we are giving you one last chance. You're now a father. Fight for yourself. For this one, I'll handle it for you. And my dad went, looked for the father's girl, sat down with her, negotiated with her, akamwambia niaje, msisumbue kijana, wacha tu asome, amalize. I had repeated KCSE. And I was able to pass. I was called in Daystar. But there are a number of things that they had to endure. So, to all the parents who are here, these kids that you're raising are very interesting. A confident child is fought, even in school. Be ready to be called in school for suspensions, for incitement. Huyo alisema watu wasikunywe juice. Juice ni mbaya, inaleta cancer. Because you see, your kids are doing research. And Africa has not been built to accommodate intelligent kids. The education system has not yet grown to that level. Unless your child goes to an international school. Like I know a school like Mary Show is very intentional with confidence. So also be very intentional with the kind of school that your child goes to. Because it can either kill their confidence or awaken it. I just want to show you a simple thing that we want to do for this year. And then from there, I'll be done. But otherwise, thank you so much for being with us. Now, these are industry statistics. 60% of the African youth are said to be the majority decision-making group in the next 2 to 3 years. 50% media platforms and tech combined with storytelling contribute 50% of influence you have in the society. 80% of employers cite that they consider communication skills. 70% of changes in policy are as a result of eloquent communication of ideas. We did a research. We had to take more than 30 parliamentary sessions that went through, that were implemented from a bill to become law. The people who pushed for that were good communicators. Even in Kenya, we saw that some of the bills that were passed into law, people like John Mbadi, the days that they were in parliament, Pio and I, there's a way in which the fact that they were eloquent communicators, they're also able to push for some of the bills that were actually now taken into that stage of becoming law. So these are just powerful statistics to show you how communication is a powerful thing. The fact that I knew about communication at a young age, it has placed me on a pedestal of advantage. There are things I have never looked for. There are things that look for you when you're a good communicator. Proverbs 18 verse 21 says, a man shall reap from the fruits of the mouth, of the womb of his mouth. That's how powerful words are. Let's go to the next. So this is a public speaking economy. We just summarized it, but actually we discovered that public speaking can create more than 95 jobs just from the way it's structured. You can either be a corporate trainer or moderator like Zipporah here. Zipporah, you can wave. So if you need a moderator in one of your events, she's there. You can either get into networking like Sabina. Sabina does networking events. Can wave Sabina. Nice one. You can either be a coach or a consultant. One of the most expensive consultants is John C. Maxwell, paid more than 16 million to consult per hour. Vusi Stembekoa is paid 3.5 million to speak per hour. And if he's coming to consult or advise your company, that's 25 million. Social and community impact in terms of running organizations, content creation, and an opinion shaper. There are people who are paid to give opinions. Can I give you an example? Professor Makao Mutua, Mutai Ngunyi. What are they paid for? Just to give an opinion. Raila atashinda, huyu ataanguka, yu atapata. And they wake up on Twitter to share an opinion. But how they have invested their capacity to share that opinion, you pay them for that. Practicing resilience and adaptability. There are people who, by the fact that they have studied communication, they can be able to adapt in terms of different situations, in terms of crisis. We pay them to managers. When you are a manager who has studied communication, you can always manage situations in terms of resilience and adaptability. You can be a keynote speaker, like what Paminas will be coming to do, and Dr. Kataka in a few. That you can be a keynote speaker in a certain area. There's a difference between a public lecture and a keynote session. Public lecture, those events that are organized where people speak in terms of different areas. But a keynote session is where There's a specific area that people are addressing. And you can be a keynote speaker in terms of that. Can go to the next slide. Now, this is Ispeak 2024 in summary, in terms of what we've been able to do. The people who have graduated from TOT are 80+. The new brands and organizations that have emerged from our impact are 7. The people who have launched books from Ispeak Society are 5. The counties we have covered in Kenya are 13. The people we have impacted on ground, in terms of meetings, 7,000 plus. So this is the impact that we've had this year. I can say, and we've not done much, but this is what we've been able to do. We did projects in Kilifi. We did projects in Mombasa with Compassion International. And I've just been told that Compassion International is giving us 500 young people in January because of that impact. So these are just statistics to show you in terms of impact. The young people, how many young people are authors from Ispeak? You can just lift up your hand. Those who are here and you are an author. Ronald, Joseph, where are you? Ronald, you can lift up your hand. Don't fear. So make sure you get a copy of a book from him. There's someone not here with us. How many run their own companies? You can lift up your hand from Ispeak. Just lift it up boldly. Those who run their own companies. Jeff has a graphics company. McKenna has an events company. You can lift it up. Janet has a fashion company. Tichikas has a protocol company. Rosemary soap, right? Hair products. Imelda has a branding company that trains people in terms of brand positioning and LinkedIn. Agatha does HR training. Sandra does things to do with sustainability and environmental stuff. Any other person? Dan wapige shout out. Okay. Can go to the next slide. So these have been our partners in 2024. Partnered with Equity Bank through SECO, St. Paul's through Jane. So one of the people we partner with is Peter Salasia. Peter Salasia is one of our greatest partners. In fact, every year we gather 6,000 young people with him. So in January, we have another event. We are gathering 10,000 young people. There's a time I saw him being trolled on Facebook, and I saw that as an opportunity. And then I went to Parliament, and I gave someone 200 bob. This guy was a waiter in a certain restaurant, and I told him, take my number. When you see any MP walking in, just call me. But I gave him a list of 5 MPs that I want to meet. So this day, this guy calls me and tells me, Salasia ako hapa. I take a Bolt border. I get to Parliament. I had already written a proposal for Salasia. And I told Salasia, I want to change how you dress and how you speak in Parliament. And he said, utanibadilisha kweli wewe? I said, yes. And I worked with Salasia. In terms of image, I introduced him to a tailor who was able to sharpen him. Then Salasia asked me, what do we do next? And I told him, let's go to the young people in Mumias. And he gave us access. So we've done 2 editions with him. We are doing the 3rd edition. We have Nyotanjema. The CEO is here. He gave us his team to train them, and it was impactful. We have Affecto, run by Ndungunyoro. Affecto sponsors kids from vulnerable backgrounds. So they give us the young people to train them. We have Farmhold, it's a real estate company. We have Compassion. We have Nova Pioneer Schools. I've been the mentor of Nova Pioneer for the last 1 year, the whole year, working with their candidates. Kilifi County Government, Cascade, and many others. We've partnered with more than 50 organizations this year. Can go to the next slide. This is a global footprint in terms of our impact. Kenya, Uganda, DRC, Nigeria, South Africa, Qatar, USA, England, Australia, and France. These are the places where we've been able to send foot soldiers in different places to impact the globe. And today we'll be launching out 3 new branches of Ispeak globally. We're opening Ispeak in Australia, in the UAE, and in UK, Australia, and UAE. Those 3. And in March, I'll be going for a tour. I'll be visiting 5 countries. I've been invited in Australia, Netherlands, France, and many other countries just to go there and meet people who also want to join the organization and to partner with us. So if you have someone there, tell them to join Ispeak. Go to the next slide. So this is our project for 2025. These are the things we want to achieve. Have you loved those young people the way they were speaking here? Let's appreciate them again. Now, it takes a lot of work for that to be seen. What you have seen here is 2 minutes of speaking, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. And one of the challenges that we have as I speak currently, we don't have an office space that's closer to the city. So I was just sharing that day with Madam Janice and Mr. Weru. Nilikuwa nawaambia mazee, we use like 30,000 every week on spaces only. So that one might not be sustainable if we want to do this for a long period of time. So I thank God we've gotten an office space opposite JW Marriott between Kempinski. So we've gotten an office space at Westlands. That office space is big. It can hold up to 30 kids, 30 to 40 kids in one session at Ago. And also it has an outside space because these kids love playing games. And we want to encourage the culture of gaming. There are some of my friends who came here who love gaming. Please raise up your hand. These kids are gamers. You can stand up. They're from Rongai. So for them, they want to pursue gaming. And they told me, we want to pursue gaming so that people can know Jesus through gaming. So they said, they want to create softwares that will have games, but then in between the breaks of games, a scripture pops in. And that's interesting technology. So they said, our parents don't understand what we are doing, so we want you to teach us how we shall tell them so that they understand. And then they give us permission. So I told them, I'll work with them, and I've just been working with them for the past 2 years. As I've been going to JCC Rongai, I've been working with them on that. So you can see the way they're dressed up. That's how gamers dress up. So, so they are very interesting guys. So we want to have a space for gaming, and we want to do this consistently. So we wanted to have an office space there so that now Sukeji, Kairu, and the many other guys we are raising in Ispeak can be training these kids consistently, can have a seat. We want to have this program every Saturday where kids come for 2 hours. Every Saturday. There is a program that we've written. It's a curriculum. There are so many curriculums we've written for children. There's even one for training kids on how to wear suits, how to close ties, how to sit in a dinner table, to hold the fork and knife, how to network, social etiquette, how to make phone calls, how to ask for things. So there are so many things that we want to train them. But then if you have our own space, it's easier. Because if you're at a space you're being charged 8,000 per hour, then that means within 3 hours, by the time now kids are enjoying the lesson, you're being told it's time to go. So we are limited. So the first thing we want to have a library that will have 1,000 books on public speaking. So these are the 1,000 books that we want to have majorly in leadership, communication. And we want to have a place where these kids can come and study, research, and build capacity. The other thing we want to have is a studio equipment, a studio center that will have microphones, tripods, camera, all these things. From the content I've been creating, right now I command an influence of 457,000 young people globally. Just from sitting in a small, if I show you where we record content, it's just a small place in our boardroom where there's a bookshelf, we put some lighting, and from this one camera, can bring it. From this one camera that Seko gave us, this is a camera that we use to record content. From that content, I earn like 300,000 to 500,000 per month. But you see, that content has to be properly packaged. So we want to see, after we have trained people in TOT Premium, they don't just go home. We want to give them a studio where they can record content. These kids need to be heard. Because can you imagine if they speak here and we clap for them, we have not helped them. So we need a proper studio where these kids can sit in a podcast and engage in a conversation about politics. If these leaders will see kids who are 6, 7 years old saying what they would have done if they are presidents, it sends a message. And we are changing culture. So we want a studio, and then we also want a stage setup. Next year in February, 1st of February, we will be doing our first Ispeak Festival, where we are bringing together 5,000 high schoolers for a public speaking competition in Eldoret. So we need LED screens, we need sound, light, and stage, because hiring these things is expensive, but if we have our own, it's much easier. Then sustainability in terms of our office. I'm saying this so that you can see, because some of you have office furniture that you're not using. You can donate to us. It will really help us. And then now, the office that you're taking, the rent is 200,000 per month. So you're trying to negotiate with the person. But we want to see if there are people who can support us for the first 5 months, we'll have gained stability. So these are some of the things we want to achieve. As you go, this is how you can partner with us. Through prayers. Pray for us. Sawa sawa. Because those things that I've told you, you can just go in the previous slide. These things, like studio equipment, all these equipment will cost us like 1 million, because we need like 2 cameras, microphones, and all that. These books, 1,000 copies, will cost us like around 500,000. The stage setup and all these will cost us like around 2.5 to 3 million. Then for the office sustainability, that's like 1 million. So here you're looking at 5 million. And then now in terms of mobility, someone blessed us with a van, 14-seater. Someone gave us a gift, told us take that van, keep impacting people. But later on, I know that we will need even more vans to pick these young people. Like I've talked to the government, I want to take young people for a tour in Dadaab and Kakuma refugee camp. Those are things that will provoke them to think leadership. I'm also taking them to Gigiri to visit the United Nations and just stand there and see how things are done. I want to be intentional with the places they visit, just to see how we can recondition their mindset. So this is how you can partner with us. Prayers. Number 2, access. Some of you have access to people we don't have access to. Maybe you're here, you have access to a member of parliament, and you have seen what you're doing and you feel like this thing can go to the constituencies or to a certain county. Or some of you have access to churches. So you have access to a church, you can go tell your pastor, call these people, they will impact our members. Or you have access to a school, maybe you're here and you sit in a board of a school, you can give us access. The other way is finances. Mwana mmejam, finances. Like today, we just have a target. I want us to see what we can be able to raise for the library, because that's our first priority project. We want to buy books so that in January, in the next 3 weeks actually, we'll be in January, the next 2 weeks, I want us to see how we can kick off so that kids can begin using that place as soon as we can. The other thing is materials. If you're here and you have cameras, like Seko had a camera that he was not using, sound screens, you can be able to partner with us. Last slide. So those are the giving details from what I've shared. You can send us cash through PayPal. That's the till for the organization. That's the company bank details. Or you can pay through Remitly for those who are outside the country. So this is what we need for us to be effective. So towards the end of the session, we'll see whatever you can be able to give to support. If you can be able to leave this room having done 2 things. 1, at least we buy some books. 2, at least you're able to get the space that we want to get in Westlands. We'll be good to go so that we can impact more people. So for us, that is it. We want to say thank you so much to every parent who trusted us with their children. It's not easy, but we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And for us, this is our focus. For us, this is what we are born to do. We are born to impact young people. We do a meeting every month here at Sarit. Every month. So next month, January 25th, we'll be having a gathering. We are already recruiting young high schoolers who just left school. If you're here and you're an ex-candidate, you can stand up. Those who just left high school and they have joined Ispeak. So, where did we meet? Where did we meet? Girls Isinya, Mutungoni Academy, at the office. The sister brought her. Thank you so much, Maureen. Yes? My girls Isinya. Thank you. My girls Isinya. Mary Hill. Thank you so much. Let's appreciate them. So, these guys are not going to be idle. They already have a lot of work to do. So thank you so much. We are dedicated to this. And we love you so much that we really care about your communication skills. Ispeak is a CBO, just to mention, it's a community-based organization, but it takes a lot of resources for us to do things with the level of excellence that you're supposed to do. So with that, we really need a lot of support, and if you can be able to push us, go ahead and let's do this together. I want to invite Mr. Paminas to do his keynote session, because his team has just graduated today. After Mr. Paminas, Dr. Kataka will be coming, and then we'll be done. Give certificates and go home. Go ahead, sir. Let's appreciate him.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening. All protocols observed. I must first of all start by asking us to appreciate Ben Hinn. Isn't that an amazing thing? And if somebody can help me with the lights so that I'm visible, it will be very good. If I can be visible through the lights, I'll be visible. I'll be appreciative. Okay, thank you. So yeah, you know I'm dark like Ben Hinn. But for him, he was shining because his image was better. So my name is Paminas Kariuki. I'm the CEO and founder of Nyotanjema Real Estate. I'm a certified investment advisor. I'm a strategist. I'm a public speaker, keynote speaker. And that I must also thank Ben Hinn for triggering in me. I knew I would speak. I knew I would always address crowds, but I never took it as a serious item in my life. Until we met with Ben Hinn, and he told me, Paminas, there's so much behind you. And how we met, we were both speaking in our dinner, and he spoke ahead of me, had just come after getting a lot of troubles on the road. And when I got to that dinner, I wondered, what did I speak after this guy has spoken? He spoke with a lot of passion, a lot of energy. And then after that, the MC said, and I'm going to call upon Paminas Kariuki to come and speak and give us some few remarks. So when I stood to speak, I had to up my game because obviously he had set the pace so high. And after speaking, we were both here in Sarit actually. It was here in Sarit. And he said, I would like us to have a long-term relationship and long-term partnership. And that is how it came. I decided to give him a test, and the test I gave him was with my team. And I'm happy that the team from Nyotanjema, if you can stand, so that we are able to see them. This is part of the team that have gone through 3 months public speaking training session, plus others who are not within the room. Let's give them a good clap for the good job. So I'm happy you can have your seats. I must say that from their experience, before I go to my keynote, these guys have experienced a lot of growth. Somebody like Anthony Mugi, who gave the address here in my absence, was not able to speak when he came to the office in public. But today he is so confident. And I can say this time in this room that he has even actually decided to resign and to go and do his own passionate business. I am proud of you. You know, it is hard for a boss to say so, but I can tell you without fear, I don't fear and I don't feel bad when my team grows. Because when they grow, I know I have an impact somewhere else. I can only have enough time to serve this world. But when I duplicate myself through other people, I'm sure that we're impacting the world in a different and a better way. And therefore, I'm so proud of you. I know he sent the resignation. At first, it hurt me. But again, I said, the best thing I can do is to give him the confidence to go. He came and told me, I got to realize myself. I'm 28, and I think I can do better when I am on my own. So before he gets other clients, I'll also be one of his clients to make sure that he stabilizes in his business. So I have seen what public speaking can do. By God's grace, when we talked with this guy, he told me, Paminas, you need to start positioning yourself as a public speaker. In the last 3 months alone, I have done keynote addresses, around 12 keynote addresses in different congregations, speaking, not as I push myself. Thank you. Not that I push myself, but at least I have now started to attract people who want to hear from me. Last week alone on Friday, I had 3 public speaking keynote address. One on Nairobi Chapel for their evening dinner. The other one was in, it was supposed to be in JB Marriott. They took it to Swiss Mount. and I found around 300 business owners, a business community there, and another one was at One Africa. The same night, I tried to change. They all insisted, we want you to come and speak to us. I don't know what I was speaking, but one thing I'm sure, from the self-confidence that we have been taught about, I know I spoke something that gave me some good standing ovation at the end of it all. Born from the village in Kinangop, I'm happy to say I never knew that one day I'd be speaking to people in different platforms. Kinangop is where I was born, but that is not where I was made to live. And therefore, when I was born in Kinangop, I was born in a village that was quite remote, quite poor, and quite humble. But one thing I was sure is that I am not meant to be in the village. Thank God for my grandmother and my mother who told me that you are not meant to be here. You are meant to go to Nairobi and meet other people and to the world. And therefore, as I grew up as a young boy, I always went up the trees. For the boys who are here, when we were growing up, for us, we were going up the trees to get fruits and to harvest anything that you are thinking was good up the sky. Where I came from, we had a long distance for you to go to the tarmac. And by the way, there was no tarmac. There was a main road, but there was not tarmacked. And therefore, I never got an opportunity to see vehicles. So see only the vehicles which were coming to carry our own fruits from the village. And therefore, as I continued to live, I'd go up the tree, and I was very good in mastering and listening to the speeches given by the then President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. Now you can start guessing my age. I'm not that old, but at least I was able to listen to his speeches quite for some time. And therefore, every news that was starting, Leonard Mabobotera, the then news anchor, would speak and start by saying, Rais Mtukufu Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. And therefore, I would listen to that. Thank God for that. I never knew I was sharpening my public speaking. I was speaking to the news and the speeches of the president, to the people in the village, to the birds of the air. And because I come from Abadeas, we have hills. So, you know, like Kameno and Makoyu. Yeah, now you are getting where I'm going. Like that is the same case that our place was. So it would be very easy for me to broadcast my voice and be heard on the other side of the ridge. Now, it gave me confidence that one day, and I still state here, one day, I came to Nairobi to hustle like any other boy who would come from the village. And coming to Nairobi, I didn't know where to start. But I was so certain I'm not going back to the village to be a villager there. And therefore, when I came, I decided I'm going to share my experience through confidence creation. I joined one industry when I was in campus. I thought I wanted to be in real estate. And the reason I wanted to be in real estate, I was a student solution to a people's problem. And I saw students who are getting beaten in the night. I was in Maseno University, and there we were having our neighbors who are the Wanyores. And the Wanyores knew how to treat the children, the students, when they are going home and they are broke also. So they would attack students every time, and every time would be addressing it, going to talk with the community barazas. And I thought, can't we think of how we can create more hostels in this university? I went to approach some investors here in Nairobi. They were running a bank, and I came and told them, PPP. Even them, they had not known what is a PPP. And even here, I know many of you don't know what is a PPP. But you know Adani? Yes. Now, Adani was a sample PPP that the VC. Unfortunately, the vice chancellor was not entrepreneurial like me. So he told me, Paminas, I think it is not a good idea. And actually, he went political and also tribal. And he said, you Kikuyus want to come and steal our land. And I told him, Prof, with all due respect, I'm trying to create an opportunity for 5,000 hostels to be built through a PPP without costing the university anything. Hostels that are happening there. To date, I still remain to be the chairman of Maseno University Alumni. So as we go along with whatever we are doing, desire to leave a positive impact. Because if you start young, and I'm seeing most of us are younger here, don't expect to start when you are old. I used to hate it when we were being told you are the leaders of tomorrow. But I am always thinking, if I'm a leader of tomorrow and in my class I'm the prefect, I'm the leader of today. Therefore, I want to demystify and say, we are not the leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders of today. But the first thing we must get is self-confidence. I like the way Ben Hinn has shared about us and said, we need to be self-confident first. And therefore, in the sector that you are going to be, whether you're a student, whether you're an ex-candidate, whether you're going to university, I want to challenge you, must have self-confidence. confidence. Number two, it is good to know that in this life you can never be anything unless you have it in your mind. Whatever we conceptualize in our mind, we act on it, it comes to pass. When I was doing this real estate thing in Maseno University, I was always feeling I need to be in real estate. And therefore, when a job I got, it was in a real estate firm as a sales executive. I have done finance, but I am told that there is a job, a sales job. Sales is for those who don't have another opportunity. And therefore, when I got this job, I decided to have a different mindset. I need to be a knowledge and do sales so that I can be outstanding when everybody else is. I got 5 job offers as a GM in 5 different companies, and I had to choose from which do I take. An option when excellence is. And I am challenging you all. We find sometimes the challenge in the workplace is where people come in and they want to be mediocre, power to go and be public speakers, good communicators, but besides that, you must be excellent in whatever you do. It is through the same time I was getting my process of getting married. By then, I'm married with 3 girls. So I'm not joking around life. I am enjoying life and making it perfect and maximum in it all. So as I was doing this, I decided I'm going to get the best job with the best salary. But all that glitters is not good. Again, I was guided by money, not by the values of the directors. So when I joined that organization, I realized they were not straight. For many of you who have been there long enough, you know real estate is a very sensitive market. People start with different intentions. And after 6 months, I decided, guys, this is not my place to be. I would rather not lose my values, but I would rather lose my... Because I was the focal point of the company. I decided I would rather not do it, but retain my good name. With a salary of more than 300,000, that was a good... Upon designation, I decided I'm going to pursue my own dream, because it is only my dreams that I have control over. And at this point, if your dreams don't scare you, they are not big enough. I decided my dream is to change real estate. And real estate is known for having a lot of capital in investment, a lot of cartels are there, but I chose, as far as permanence is concerned, I have beaten so many odds from the village to be in the city. Not only from being in the city, I was being sought after by 5 real estate companies. It means I have what it takes to run a successful real estate. To change the way real estate is done in Kenya. How did I do it? I decided I'm not going to be a salesperson. I'm going to be an investment advisor, so that every person is get what you want done. I decided to start by creating investment advisory. What is the process of buying land? What are the processes of what are the benefits of investing in real estate at this time? What are the benefits of investing in Kenya at this time? Niko na kashamba, kako na maji na kako na stima. And I'm here saying, for you to get a title, you can do due diligence by searching the 3 types of titles. At some point, I felt the dollar was very strong against the Kenya shillings. And I decided, everybody is complaining about the economy. I have to change my mindset. Who are earning in dollars? Kenyans in diaspora. They are earning in dollars. And if everybody is earning only $1,000 per week, $1,000 per week, if I go to where they are, I can show them when you spend the 1,000 in your own country, you're not making anything. But because the dollar has moved from 120 to 160, you can be able to get 40 shillings for every dollar that you have if you spend the money back home. When I said this, I decided to go full blast in the diaspora, and thank God because of that, because last week, but one, we were awarded as the Realtor of the Year in the diaspora. Those countries, we have to visit them. As I speak, I want to encourage you, as I conclude, that you can go as far as your vision can. But you must be confident to face it. If you don't face it, somebody else will. Nyota Njema is where it is. We are only 5 years. And as we stand the 5 years, I am here to celebrate and say this year alone, we have received around 6 awards in different categories. Not because we are the best, but because God has given us favor in the eyes of the adjudicators. You can also be the best, but you must start arising. My closing quote is always this. The best time to invest was 10 years ago. The other best time to invest, so that 10 years to come, You either have two solutions. I did it, I'm proud I did it. Or I wish I did it. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. You are not a beggar. Therefore, don't wish what you could do. Do it now, because Africa, Kenya is waiting for such a people like us who can stand and say, it is our time to shine. Again, I say, it is our time. I thank you.
Let's appreciate him. And Mr. Paminas will be launching his book. We've done his book. It will be launched next year in February. So, mkiinvitiwa mkuje, book launch. And I'm happy to say that I'm owning my first piece of land from Nyotanjema. So, I'm their first client. They're my first property advisor. So, I've been able to get land from them. Also buy land for your children. Sindio? It will be a good investment. I want to invite the last speaker. She'll have 7 minutes. She's called Dr. Kataka. She's my mother, but this time I'm not inviting her as my mother. I'm inviting her as an education expert. You know, sometimes you can have a gift within your home, but you don't see the gift. And so I'm very intentional just to honor the grace upon her life. She's contributed a lot in the field of education. I don't know where is her profile, who actually went to the US to just see what were some of the gaps and how it could be properly be implemented. She's been in the education system for the past 35 years. And so currently she's a curriculum developer at KCD. And I wanted her just to come and share with the parents 2 or 3 snippets in terms of communication and even within the education system and what it can do. So please lend her your ears. We'll be done in a few. Thank you.
Praise God. Just wave at me, praise academic discourses. You don't assume a title until it's handed over to you officially. So I'm waiting to graduate. Now, I'll not talk much about myself, but do you want your father just to wave? Use.
Good evening, disruptors. My name is Ngome Welamon, father to Ben Hino Lubengo. For parents who are here, in them, praying for them, irrespective of what the outside world will say or comment about them. Mother Teresa once said, if everybody would sweep in front of their house, the world would be a good place to live in. That means the close if means a lot in English. The sweeping is not done. We've never spoken right from the time they entered parliament. So if you see these guys struggling to talk, the grammar issue aside, the confidence touches me. Parents, we at times do some arithmetic here, where do you get the money to all these things? But then when I hear of touching stories that are coming out of this hall, and wish you guys well, because we as a generation have not done so well. You guys have the platform to redo it. Thank you.
Paminas Kariuki. I'm a pioneer of Maseno University. Yeah, people in the room. Wilbur and Olive Wright brothers, the ones who invented the aeroplane, had no communication skills. So for about 100 years to stand here, even if what you wanted to say disappeared, I want you to know that Olive and Wright brothers, people would organize no communication skills. I want to salute each one of you for having an opportunity to stand here. I also want to clarify for the professionals in the house. I know there are professionals in the house, career people, there are university students, and there are those ones who are aspiring for careers. I would like to clarify that in the 20th century, we were focusing on academic qualifications. But between an academic qualification and a competency. And that explains why doctors are professionals, health, but they are not the best investors. We had, the best mechanic doesn't have the best car. We are saying, I can tell you I have evidence. And so I want to say, in the 21st century, there are things the society is dying for. Once you have it, whether you are in pre-primary 1, that is what the world is dying for. Now you'll find that The first C is critical thinking and problem solving. We have had geographers in this country. Why? We have too much knowledge, isn't it? But we don't have the right competencies to address our own problems. So we are saying in terms of critical thinking and problem solving. That is C number 1. C number 2 is communication. Communication is the ability to apply wisdom in actual practice. The problem is, I'm feeling pain here and there. They have communicated other than crying. So I want us to appreciate the component of the 21st century. Another C is creativity and innovation. And it simply implies that if you are an innovator, you're doing things differently. I want to ask this question. All of us did biology practicals in high school. You learned the functions of the heart. You learned food test. How does it help to solve your problems on a daily basis? And so we are now focusing on something that can be able, right? Something that can be able to help us solve the 21st century problems. That heart. So we are basically saying that is another third C that is lacking in the 21st century. Another C that is lacking in the 21st century is citizenship. Time up? Citizenship, I'm finishing. Then, as I finish, digital literacy. I want us to appreciate that AI is with us here, but basically the way we use it. Just ask yourself, if you're watching TikTok, are you watching to create money, or you are watching to look for who has been blasted most? If you make money out of the whatever digital skills that you have, let them work for you. If you're not using those digital skills, I'm very sorry, because at the end of the day, digital literacy is not about being addicted to a phone or a digital device. And self-efficacy is a very critical component of the financial literacy and consumer literacy. I want young people who are in the house not just to be taught the dangers of drug abuse or alcohol, but I want you to know that you need to appreciate that what you consume or what you take or what you buy, you know the contents, and you are able to assess the value of what you're buying. So if you are taking water, you should be able to read that label to know whether that water has not expired or it is functionally good for you. Now, I would say so many things. I want to appreciate and also encourage us to remember emotional intelligence, social intelligence, economic intelligence. Those are some of the gaps in the 21st century that would want the parents to have. I'm a national master. I heard somebody saying here that you are from Mary Shaw. I trained your teachers. I've trained teachers of the St. Mary's School, Sunshine, Makini, and many other renowned schools, and I appreciate touching people's life and having a positive impact. God bless you, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Let's appreciate her. Nice. We're now getting to the last place of the last phase of the program, and I want us to award certificates, beginning with Nyotanjema. So, Mr. Paminas, you can join me on stage so that you can be able to award certificates. Please don't leave. Mazi amesikia weird. Try not to leave, so because we'll be done in very few minutes. Just be patient, kidogo. It will be good. And then also Seko, you can join us so the picture can have some endorsement. You can move towards the center. So if you're called upon, you'll be standing at the center. So just a trisex. So when you're taking a picture for congratulations, you'll hold it this way. Mr. Seko will hold it on one side, Mr. Paminas. And then you smile slightly. See, Evie? You smile like a gentleman. Sawa sawa. So Abdallah Abdul, let's appreciate him. Let's clap with the energy and psych. Until he gets here, let's appreciate him. Ken Gadhogo, you should be next. Let's move a bit faster because of time. Let's appreciate them even as they come. Josh, you're set? Nice one. What do you want? Let's appreciate him. There you go.
Precious Mudhoni. Sylvia Wairimu.
Let's appreciate her.
Anthony Thiongo.
Let's appreciate them.
Lilian Onyango. Irene Jerry. Maureen Kawera.
Let's appreciate them.
Tony Mugi. John Onyango. Trevor Munene.
John is here.
Okay.
Where's John?
John Onyango.
I think he's outside.
All right. Let's keep it here.
Okay.
Trevor Munene.
He's not here.
Mark Felix Kagiri.
Let's appreciate them. Now we'll get to the TOT Junior. Let's appreciate them.
Zabari Ngungi. Okay.
All right. Madam Mildred, you can come. And Njoki can come over.
Followed by Kenzo Kibara.
Let's appreciate them.
Joylene Wambui. Jaden Baraka. Okay, so when you come, you can just queue from here.
The parents, you can join them. Where's the parent to Jabal? Can please join him. Let's appreciate the parents. Let's appreciate. Let's appreciate. Thank you so much. Allow me just to honor these parents. Their daughter is Maureen. Maureen is our accountant. Just come, Maureen. So, Maureen is their firstborn, and they have given us 3 of their. In short, they have given us the whole family to Ispeak. All their 5 kids are in Ispeak. From the firstborn, 6. From the firstborn to the lastborn. So the firstborn is our accountant, Maureen. There's another one who's just cleared high school. There's also another one who comes to our programs, and then the 3 pass with your teeth. Let's say thank you.
Thank you.
Maureen, you don't want a picture? Mazi? Have. In fact, nyinyi mnaweza kuwa na familia nyinyi wote. Jia na kwa wapi? Tumalize hii story mara moja. Mazi. Sasa kwa hiyo nyumba watakuwa wanaongea, watu wanashindana kwa bedroom, kwa bafu, kila mtu anaongea. Yes. Jian Gakungi, go ahead, sir. Shalma.
Shama.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead. Hi, sir. Let me join you.
Then
We have Jaden.
Ibada Pal. Ibada Pal.
So, Jaden, the first day Jaden came to class, alikuwa amefura. Alikuwa amelazimishwa akuje class. So the next weekend we came with games. And when we brought in games, Jaden was the one who was shouting and teaching the rest. So it unlocked something in him. And even today, like seeing him here, the consistency. The other day he was asking Sukeji, my link is not working, what is happening? And how do I make friends? So his face always gives that Elon Musk kind of vibe. And I just love it with sweet spirit. Congratulations, Jaden. Smile.
Up on stage next we have Ibada Pal, followed by Prince David.
Ibada, come. Let's
Then Takisha Malesi.
So we can switch. I think.
Prince David.
Helen Jackson. Daddy. You can join. Ibada. Takisha.
Prince David, then we have Takisha.
Sounds like you
All right.
Oh yeah. Madam Agatha just called all the
All right.
all the kids.
All the kids.
The Kyokos. Wakuje wote.
Perfect.
Yeah. Let's appreciate that.
Takisha and
Amelia.
Next we'll have Nicole Blessings, Chelsea Wausi, Stella Maris Mwende. In that order, Nicole Blessing, Chelsea Wausi, Stella Maris Mwende. Nicole, right?
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Stella Maris.
Once you're given the certificate, don't go. Just want to pray with you before you go. Let's appreciate Takisha.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Let's appreciate them. Who else? Nicole, Tanisha, and Tish. It's one family.
Okay. Tanisha, Tish.
Next we'll switch. Sukeji and Kyle will come in our Thank you. Lazima tupige pamoja. Tanisha and Teshi should be coming next.
Yeah, yeah.
Nicole? Pigeni reaction one.
Teshi and Tanisha.
So you should be at the center.
Oh,
Let's appreciate them.
Next in preparation, we have Melissa Msupa and Ruby Senseni. Melissa and Ruby. Melissa.
Can someone stand behind that so that let's make sure that
Let's get someone from the protocol. What was usianguke kwa baba?
Melissa. Ruby. Ruby.
Let's be a bit fast.
Oh, online. Good luck, Jonathan. Ruby. Angel Favor. Ruby Seseni, good luck, Jonathan. Angel Favor. Ruby.
Jonathan? Yeah. Angel Favor? Angel? Chukueni ati ati premium bro. Changamkeni basi. Teddy, you'll be coming to award.
TOT Premium, you're up next on stage. So we start with Faith Njuki, Grace Nyakabugo, John Githui.
Congratulations. Can go down. Teddy. Yes?
Yeah.
But you're just
Shifting the release.
Teddy, Sabina, can come in the ward. Don't worry, in 10 minutes we'll be done. In 5 minutes we'll be done actually.
Faith Nzuki, John Githui, Melissa Kanini.
Faith? Okay. Yeah, go. Go ahead. Oh. Josh, name?
John? Yeah. Melissa? Okay. Cecily? Felix Ochieng? James Mwangi? Vink Mokua? All right. Cyprina Akwim?
Cyprina, can come.
Rosemary Nyakagio?
Next.
Zipporah Omile?
Move faster.
We have these ones.
Next.
Titus Chalo? Helen Jackson? Laureen Cherotich? All right. Rosemary? Rosemary. Oh, and Laureen. And Agatha.
Let's appreciate them.
Madam Agatha.
Agatha Kibai.
Thank you.
Let's appreciate them. Are they done?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's appreciate them. Now, I just want us to call upon Jogi. Everyone was graduated. I request you just to come here so that we pray with you. So Jogi is a... Joki is a many people know her as a singer, but for me, I know her as a speaker. And not so many people know her as a speaker. And she leads various movements that also just push for change and impact in different circles. Can I get your attention just for a minute? So the reason I invited her is that she has a very distinct grace in terms of not just worship, but even being a voice in a generation. And so that's why I've invited her also just to say something and then just to pray with you. So I'm inviting all the kids, all the TOT Premium, Jonathan Jema. Mr. John did not pick his certificate. Where can I get his certificate? The certificate for Mr. John. Zayla, come for your certificate. Where is it? Please get it. And give her a certificate to represent that. Yes. Zayla, come. Let Zayla take a picture of the certificate. Who's the mom to Zayla? No, just a minute. Let Zayla take a picture. Sorry, make sure they take it, okay? No, I'm sorry. Now, I would want us, the kids, please can come and stand here. And the charity premium, please join us. And then, for the rest, excuse me, will we just stretch our hands? You can face us. Face this side. Face this side. For the TOT